Thank you, everybody, for joining the Uplifters podcast. Today, we have a very special guest, Eric Burton. Eric is the managing director of a company called MedWorthy. And Eric was born and raised in Los Angeles and moved to Dallas about 10 years ago. And has been in the IT industry for 15 years, working for the biggest companies in the world like Apple and Texas Instrument. And in 2018, he decided to launch his own software company, and he hasn't even looked back since then. So, Eric, thank you and welcome to the show.
It's great to be here, Adam. I appreciate allowing me to be on this broadcast today.
Thank you. Thank you. So, Eric, why don't you share with us and our audience about your journey and how you became an entrepreneur?
Yes, I'll be happy to do so. It started off, of course, as a young man, I always wanted to go into business for myself, and I was always cultivated by my family to do so. But it started mainly because I saw something in software because my dad himself, he was an entrepreneur as well. And so software became my love, especially when I moved to Dallas or moved to Texas. And so I wanted to do something that would be different from any other industry that I knew the the epitome of how the software industry was planning on heading. So I wanted to get into application development when I started at Apple or when I was at Apple. And so from there, um, after I left Apple, I decided to get more training in software development. And I moved from there and started my own business in 2018. And so I just continued to evolve with software engineering as well as development of software products. And so at this point now, I'm just at the place where I need to go to get to the next level of software development.
Gotcha. So, what are some of the challenges and the obstacles that you might have faced as you climbed the ladder in the software and the IT industry, and how did you overcome it?
Okay, so some of the biggest challenges that I face, the number one challenge that I face is the lack of knowledge because there's always new technologies every minute. And so if you're not in the forefront or if you don't educate yourself on the newest technologies that are on the horizon, then you can be left behind without any looking back, you would definitely be left behind and that would make your company falter. So what I do is I constantly educate myself on the newest trends that are coming around the horizon and I make sure that I focus on these new trends. So yeah, basically the lack of knowledge is definitely a big challenge in the software industry or the IT industry for that matter.
Aren't you? And so, what are you most proud of? Any accomplishments that you achieved so far? Anything that was really especially difficult and you're really proud to have accomplished?
Yeah, the challenge, well, as far as my biggest accomplishments, I believe that that would be the successes that I've made so far as my milestones and benchmarks that I've made with the company. Because when I started off, like I started off with funding my own, as far as funding my own adventure, and so now even when I was in my corporate life, going back to my corporate life, I saw that I was a person that was always aggressive and always wanting to make sure that I get the very best and I become the very best. Even at Apple, I was like the top, I think it was like the top 25% executive in my industry that made a big difference in the company itself. And I also received numerous awards for that matter, as well as in my own company. I became some of the applications that I developed has became like one of the top 40 most used productive apps in Europe. And so, and I can't really mention this, but I have another achievement coming up in March. Just look out for it. But I'll send something out. But because of this non-disclosure, I can't really talk about it at this time. But it's one of the highest achievements in the entrepreneur itself.
Gotcha. What are your philosophies about business success, financial independence? Tell us and share with the audience some of your beliefs and philosophies about those things.
I believe that the most important thing is always having a moral high ground. Basically, because I think in business or in your personal life, should always make sure that you're honest and true to yourself as well as to others. So when you're presenting products, or if you're also talking with people or networking with people, people have that aura or reputation that you are a true person, from the heart and from the mind itself as far as sincerity goes. And so I think that's always important, your moral integrity in everything you do, and always put your passion into everything as well too.
Yeah, I'm curious, who's been your biggest inspirations? Any mentors that kind of guided you and gave you the strength?
Yes, I had one of my best and my still a great person at this point. His name was Chuck Smith. He was the West Coast AT&T CEO of the West Coast division in the San Francisco area. And so he guided me for at least for a long time. Even to this day, he's been a great influence in my life. And also, of course, the great Steve Jobs, because he always thought outside of the box when he created his products as well. And he always thought of something brand new. And as far as like legends go, as besides Steve Jobs, would be Dale Carnegie as well as Elon Musk. I like how he went from one adventure to another and still became great from each venture that he's been into.
Gotcha. What are some of the most important business lessons and financial lessons you think you acquired in life?
I think the most important business lesson that I've learned is the importance of financial literacy. That's more important than anything in life, because if you're not, as far as with your personal or your professional life, if you're not set as far as your financials go and how you accumulate, not only just accumulate, but managing what you currently have, that that's the most important thing. I mean, I think it started off with the most important thing was people learning how to read, of course, or literacy. And then from there, it should evolve into financial literacy. It makes you the controller of your destiny and who you are to be in life. That I was taught that like since childhood, as far as my mom goes. She was one of the most successful financial managers I've ever known. So of her personal money.
Yeah. Yeah. Some people, maybe from different backgrounds, from maybe different family structure, different countries, maybe they're sitting out there and thinking to themselves, I came from a broken home, I came from a tough neighborhood, I'm a minority, I'm an immigrant. What are some of the words of encouragement and strengthening can you give those people?
Yes, the most important thing I would say is the two main words I want to say is ingenuity and resilience. The power ingenuity to me is thinking outside the box. It's always thinking ahead of what your goals are. You may have goals, but continue to have those goals and continue to update those goals throughout your life. And resiliency being that you never give up on your dreams, whether you want to be a ballerina, or if you want to be an entrepreneur, or if you want to be an executive, or if you want to be a police officer. I think that's the most important thing, is always never letting go of your dreams. It keeps you with a moral fiber, and also never compromise that moral fiber or that morality in achieving those goals as well. That's always been important in my life, and I think that if you have those things, or those lessons, or that foundation, then I think that makes you a great humanitarian, no
Yeah.
matter what.
Yeah. I'm curious, Eric, what legacy do you want to leave behind?
The legacy I want to leave behind is the philanthropy journey that I want to make. I want to be able to help others achieve their goals as well. Not so much as just in the professional sense, but in the personal sense, whether it's contributions through monetary ways, or if it's personally being a big brother, or being someone's mentor myself, or helping any way I can, as far as, but I just want to be able to leave a philanthropy legacy, you know,
Yeah.
because I think the most important thing is education, and I want to see everyone in this world educated, not so much as in the scholastic sense, but more or less, like I mentioned, in the financial sense. You know,
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. We live in a world of abundance. There's no missing anything, right? There's a lot of food out there for everybody. There's a lot of wealth out there for everybody. And a lot of things that are happening now in the technology industry and even in the financial industry with cryptocurrencies and all of those things are, much more altruistic and are thinking about other people, which is really extraordinary to see. And a lot of times it's just knowledge that spreads the resources to everybody else, right? It's pretty fascinating what's happening right now.
yes,
So
I agree.
one of the things, Eric, that we do at the show is we give our guest an open mic, about 60 seconds or so, to share whatever it is that they want to share. To maybe, it could be about your business, it could be about a cause that you care about that you want people to support. So why don't you take some time and share on an open mic?
Okay. So I have, not only with as far as my professional, but I also have a cause that I'm dear to, as far as mental health issues and concerns. And if you like, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn, Eric, under Eric Burton, of course, as well as you could always email me something at www.medworthy.net, and you'll be able to contact me as well too. And I also have my email if someone likes to reach out to me in that regards. But it's medworthy, a as an apple, at gmail.com. But I also like to talk to different people, as far as connections and networking with the IT industry as well.
Sure.
And so I like to help out others if I can, and also employ others as well too.
Yeah, Eric, what keeps you positive in business today and doing what you're doing, and what motivated you to be an entrepreneur?
What my motivation was, it was my dad, of course. He was an entrepreneur. He had his own, as far as his hardware company, or more or less, it was like a electronics engineering firm, and so he helped others as well too. And also, I used to work under his company for a little bit, like kind of like an assistant in a sense. So that really motivated me into engineering. Period, because my whole family, or my dad's side, like my dad and my uncle and my brother himself, they're all electrical engineers as far as education, and I'm probably the black sheep of the family because I'm like a software engineer. So, so I went one route, they went the other routes. So, but I've been fascinated with computers for all of my life, most of my childhood, and the greater part of my adult life. So,
Yeah. Well, it's
mhm,
changing the world. It's,
yeah,
there's so many advancements in technology, and now we're talking about quantum computers to come in, and all of the VR as an artificial intelligence, and all of those different, even the financial industry is changing with the digital currency, and the smart contracts, and so a lot of fascinating things. So
mhm.
Eric, it's been a true honor and a pleasure
Thank you.
to really speak with you today. So tell people again where they can find you and how they can get in contact with you.
Yes, you can reach out to me. You can go to my website at www.medworthy.net, or you can look me up on LinkedIn under Eric Burton, and you can reach out to me there. And also, as well as I have my Twitter as far as that goes. It's Eric, should be Eric.Burton as well, or just look me up under Eric Burton as well. But definitely, everyone keep in touch with me. I'll definitely look, I will respond
Awesome.
without, yeah,
Awesome. Thank you so much. And
you're
we'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you.